tough act to follow, but one that I'm always proud to do. Good afternoon. I'm Allison Dubois, the other assistant principal of Crossroads North, and I'm honored to be sharing this day with each and every one of you. We all have our own history, a timeline of when we met, under what circumstances. For some of you, I may just be the lady in the blue dress who spoke at recognition, hopefully not for too long. However, my path crossed with this fine group of students in September when I officially joined them as their assistant principal. Although I've worked in South Brunswick for about a dozen years, and I've been in and out of the middle school, living at Crossroads day in and day out meant a whole new level of getting to know these students. When I learned that I would speak to you today, I immediately went to the dictionary. Okay, I was a little nervous, but then I went to the dictionary and I looked up the word recognition. Appropriately, one definition stated that recognition is the act of knowing who or what someone or something is because of previous knowledge or experience. So I relaxed a little bit because for 10 months I have had the 8th grade experience. I also spoke to some of your fellow classmates who joined me and you in just this 8th grade year, just to check to see if I noticed the same things that they did, and we did. To begin with, as a class, you're extremely nice. Not just the please and thank you kind of nice, but the what can I do to help you kind of nice. You take care of each other and you demonstrate levels of patience and understanding that is beyond what we would typically expect of a middle schooler. As a class, you're also particularly focused and academic. Sure, school's a place to go and see all of your friends, but you also come because it's a place to see all of your teachers. You're eager to learn, you question and voice your opinions respectfully, you participate meaningfully, and you demonstrate that you understand what's happening every step of the way. Finally, most of us notice that you're a fairly diverse group. For the outsider, your diversity comes across as last names, skin tones, languages spoken, or countries of origin, but to the insider, it's much, much more. Your diversity is reflected in your talents, your interests, your hobbies. You play a range of instruments, you listen to every kind of music, you participate in sports competitively and in clubs. Some of you have been recognized for your gifts in fine art or photography or spray painting, or you've been recognized in robotics, math Olympiads, and science fairs. The range of interests you share as readers, writers, problem solvers, artists, and thinkers is both long and deep. And again, something that those who meet you notice, appreciate, and respect. So I'm glad that all of our paths have crossed today at recognition, and I will not delay the ceremony for much longer. The other definition of recognition that I came across is the act of accepting that something is true or important, or that it exists. 8th graders, each and every one of you exists to be true and to be important. It is with that that I'm proud to pass the mic to one of you, true and important, your Student Council President, Brenda Gagarani.
Good afternoon, parents, teachers, and classmates. I'd like to start off by saying how great these past 3 years have been. I remember how when we first came to middle school, we were timid and still didn't know our way around. 6th grade was spent learning the layout of the school, managing our grades, and making new friends. At first, it was hard waking up early every morning, but we've got the hang of it now. In 7th grade, we became a little braver and were able to try out for teams and participate in clubs while still handling our schoolwork. Now, as 8th graders, we know the school inside and out. There are so many great memories to look back on from these past 3 years. Our pattern assemblies, trips to Regular Park, Hershey Park, and Gettysburg. We have all become more mature and better people. We've been so fortunate to have such a great principal and great teachers. I would like to thank them for all the things they've taught us. They have identified our strengths and weaknesses and prepared us for high school. No matter how intimidating this school was at first, we all made it. In September, we will start the next chapter of our lives in high school as freshmen. While we are all excited for the challenges and opportunities and new friendships that will come in high school, we will always look back and cherish these beautiful middle school years. Once again, I would like to thank every single person who has made this middle school year so memorable. It has been a privilege being your president this year, and I would like to congratulate all the graduates. Thank you, everyone.
I'm absolutely thrilled to be here to introduce this year's Educator of the Year, Bob Masterton. Mr. Masterton is known throughout Crossroads for his never-ending patience and calm. Students say that they hold Mr. Masterton in the highest regard because they are very comfortable in his classroom. They know they can ask him any question, and he seems to be able to anticipate what they need from him. Teachers say that it's an honor to work with him because he's a wonderful team player, is kind to all, is trustworthy, and very hardworking. Students benefit not only from Mr. Masterton's excellence in the math classroom, but also his work as the math counts director and track coach. I personally admire his humility and clear priorities. His students come first, and he'll do whatever it takes to help them learn. I know that both students and staff share this admiration. One teacher told me that Mr. Masterton is the kind of teacher that she herself strives to be. Crossroads is so lucky to have its very own Mr. Masterton.
Thank you. First of all, I just wanted to say what an honor it is to be recognized as this year's Educator of the Year. And I want to say thank you to all my colleagues, our administrators, and all the students for a great year. I wouldn't be here without all of your help along the way. To all the parents here, I want you to know how amazing and kind all of your children were when Mr. Daniels announced that I was this year's recipient. The number of students who offered words of encouragement and congratulations truly blew me away. And to be honest, it's probably only second to the number of students who walked into my room, saw the balloons that were given to me sitting on my desk, and even after already hearing the announcement exclaimed, "Whoa, happy birthday." So my birthday's in July, but I'll take it. I'd also like to express my gratitude to the one student sitting out there, and you know who you are, who congratulated me right before wishing me luck in my retirement. So to you, I also say thank you. I think I still have a few years left in me. So when all that happened about 2 months ago, I was thrilled to get the opportunity to speak at your recognition ceremony. And I was actually reminded by my wife that I never technically graduated from 8th grade myself. I grew up right down the road in East Brunswick, and how they do it is 8th and 9th grade was, and still is actually, held in the same building. So you just kind of stayed in the same school and like unceremoniously you just went on and became a freshman before you moved to the next school. As a sophomore, you moved on to the high school. And I didn't have anything like this to mark the occasion. So needless to say, I was excited and inspired to get the opportunity to speak to you today. And you guys were my inspiration. I decided to prepare with the same intensity that I see many of you putting into study. This morning, I was in the hallways, frantically asking for suggestions on what to say, what everybody wanted to hear. And I received many words of wisdom from the 8th graders, such as, give us lots of advice for high school, so I can do that. But then shortly thereafter I got, keep it simple, don't ramble on, don't give too much advice. I was told to keep it short, along with take your time, speak slowly. My personal favorite had to have been make sure you're funny and make sure you tell lots of jokes. But that was followed shortly thereafter by another student saying, Mr. Masterton, you're not as funny as you think you are. And I have to say that that last one seemed more like an insult than anything else, but I went with it. I took all of your suggestions, started thinking of all the things that I wish I knew going into high school, and thinking back to my freshman year, turns out there's quite a bit I wish I could tell myself. So coming up with what to say was actually the easy part. As my list rapidly grew, I began to think of how to convey that message. How to relate to all of you entering high school next year. I wanted to convey it in a way that I knew you would listen to, and put it in a way that I knew you all could understand. So I thought about it for a little bit, and then it hit me. There is one thing that I knew would get my message across, one thing that I knew that you can all relate to, and one thing that captures your attention so well that I watched many of you spend the entire 3.5-hour ride-up to Gettysburg focused on this and this alone. So, with the help of the projector here and some social media, here we go. Actually, I should add, before I really get going here, your first tip going into high school is that your teachers all know what that yellow ghost icon means. So remember that when you tell them that you're just using your phone's calculator. We're not as out of touch as we might look. So now on to the real stuff. Here are the 5 things that I want you to remember as you move on through your time at Crossroads and on to the next stage in your lives. So first and foremost, get involved. In my opinion, the number one advantage of going to a high school of this size is that they literally have something for everybody. And I do mean literally because I looked it up. They have active clubs, cooking clubs, drama and comedy clubs. They have clubs that will get you involved by volunteering in the community. And there are clubs for art and fashion as well as math, science, and writing. So there are opportunities as well for you to make suggestions to help design a new club. So if nothing that I just said seems interesting to you, you can create something that is. Anything that you're interested in, there may be an opportunity for you to do that at the high school. So please, whether it's playing a sport, playing an instrument, or joining one of the activities that I just mentioned, find something that you are passionate about and go out and do it. You will meet new people, you're going to make new friends, you're going to learn skills beyond what you learn in the classroom, and make memories that will last long after graduation. Second, persevere. I'm not sure if that's a word study word or not, so I'm going to tell you what it means. It means to be persistent, work hard, battle through the tough times. You are going to face ups and downs in the years ahead, and you're going to feel overwhelmed when you have a project, paper, and midterm all due on the same day. So I'm here to tell you that no matter how bad it gets, you can do it. I have had the privilege of teaching or coaching the majority of you, and you all continually impress me with how talented, smart, and creative that you all can be. I've seen it firsthand, and I know that you have it in you. When things seem really challenging, don't give up, keep pushing, and remember that you can do anything if you really want it. Some of you may know that I'm an assistant coach on our school's track team, and also that I'm an avid runner. And I know a large portion of you sitting in front of me were athletes on our team this year as well. The reason why I love the sport of running so much is simply because it rewards perseverance. Running is all about working hard and personal improvement to go faster and farther than you ever thought you could, and I think that relates a lot to real life. So even when you're not feeling your best, it's about digging deep and finding something that you need, that you never knew you had in you. Be there for each other. This one's important. Be kind to each other. Look out for one another. Remember what's important in life. The 4 years here are going to go by too quickly to get caught up in things that do not matter. If you see someone who seems down, who better to pick that person up than the people who are going through the same thing as they are. When you think back on your time at South Brunswick High School, the thing that will stick with you the most are the relationships you built and the experiences that you shared together. So please do your part to make those experiences as positive as you can for each other. This fourth one here is probably my biggest. Many in front of you today put a lot of pressure on yourselves to be perfect at all times. So while yes, you will be asked to work hard and sometimes push yourself beyond what you thought your limits were, it's important to remember that learning is a process, and that process takes time. When you make a mistake or when you have a test or project that doesn't go as well as you had hoped, the most important lessons that you will learn in these next 4 years lie in how you respond to those errors. Remember that many of the smartest, most accomplished people throughout history had to endure many instances of disappointment before they triumphed. One of my favorite quotes is posted up on the screen: "There is no such thing as failure, only learning experiences." And I want you to remember that, because I fully believe that to be true. Some point you will stumble, some point you will fall, but I want you to remember that that is just an opportunity to grow as a person and learn something new. My last one. Be yourselves. And here's what I mean by that. I know this one sounds easy, but I think it's a lot easier said than done. Don't get too caught up in what other people think. Do what makes you and the other people around you happy, and step out from beyond your filters and worry less about your image and how people perceive you. Don't let perception control your choices. Doing what's cool or doing what's right might earn you a short-term reward, but think of how you want to be remembered after graduation, and I guarantee you'll be a lot happier in the long run. So to wrap up, the inspiration, I actually have one more slide to show you, and the inspiration for this hit me during our Dorney Park trip last Friday. I was walking past a roller coaster called Steel Force, which I'm sure many of you rode that day. But for those of you unfamiliar with it, it's the tallest, fastest roller coaster at Dorney Park, with this really steep first drop that kind of feels like you're falling straight down. So as I walked past, there were a group of 4 students who were standing outside the line. 3 of them were trying to convince their friend to go on the ride with them. So for probably about a minute, they tried everything that they could to convince their friend to go on the ride with them, but he wasn't budging, wasn't going on it. Nothing they said to him seemed to work, and he was pretty adamant about staying behind. That is, until one of his friends dropped a simple 2-word phrase on him that caused the 4 of them to go off on Steel Force together. So what he said, he just looks at his friend and goes, "Come on, man, hashtag YOLO." And off they went. And that was it. That was all it took. So to wrap up, YOLO, I'm told, means you only live once. At the time, I thought it was kind of funny that that's all it took to get him on that ride, but the more I thought about it, it actually kind of worked perfectly to sum up my entire message to you today. You only get to go to high school once, and you will never get that time back, so please do everything you can to make the most of it. There are a lot of people in this gymnasium right now that wish they could go back in time and be where you are all sitting right now. So just make sure that you please enjoy and appreciate every moment. Work hard, put yourself out there, meet new people, and most importantly, have fun, because you're going to be attending your next graduation before you know it. So be sure that you enjoy the ride. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call Mr. Daniel back to the
Madison Butler. Colin Canavan. Pranav Kasula. Kaylin Chawal. Vani Chavla. Nikir Chiramamala. Mitali Chowdhury. Daniel Corwin. Katrina Culhane. Joshua DePel. Aiden Daddis. Anjali Desai. Virad Deshpande. Mahmood Dasuki. Tara Elnjar. Janisa Evans. Jorge Fuentes Estrada. Adia Gakari. Rinda Gagarani. Shreya Getia. Christopher Gerbach. Tanusha Guduri. Sharia Gundaria. Ria Gupta. Megan Hallahan. Emily Hang. Iman Haq. Billy Hargrove. Amir Hassan. April Hillen. Amanda Hobbs. William Hoffman. Melanie Jacome. Seema Jafar. Aryan Javeri. Ethan Jew. Ravi Khanna. Vanch Karana. Mohammed Kiebri. Diksha Kunadi. Shruti Kunamneni. Gabe LeBron. Julia Light. Brianna Lynchner. Zachary Lopez. Eric Liu. Jaden Mabes. Vishwa Magesh. Paige Miller. Dhruv Misra. Priyanka Mistry. Sarang Mohanaraj. Fuad Nadi. Kritika Natarajan. Katerina Novitsky. Ifyani Orabor. Amin Abraham. Mayar Orfali. Jesse Pan. Praveen Parthasarathi. Arya Patel. Sona Patel. Rajat Pedinti. Divya Penta. Kirti Polam. Akash Prasad. Francesca Pujols. John Patrick Rabaya. Karina Rajput. Kedar Ram. Zohaib Rao. Drew Bravo. Zed Raza. William Rocco. Anadi Sahani. Yamila Sahawat. Faris Salama. Olivia Sanders. Kartik Shankar. Rahul Shankar Lingam. Samantha Saunders. Jada Sewell. Isha Shah. Anika Sharma. Amaya Shrivastava. Charles Siegler. Satvik Singaraju. Matthew Siva Harrison. Corey Zuckerman. Zachary Soriano. Nina Suhanovsky. Isha Sultana. Osman Tareen. Avantika Tucker. Matthew Thompson. Harris Tour. Brooke Allen. Vaidehi Valera. Durga Vijayakumar. Pratham Vermani. And Franklin Yin. Thank you, Kappa students, Sigma students, for a great year. Now I'd like to call the Kappa teachers to the stage.